You are listening to the Tricast Gaming Podcast.
Greetings and welcome everyone to episode number 5 of the Tricast Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Philip Keeney, and I am joined today by the roguishly handsome Mike Martinez. How are you doing tonight?
I'm fantastic, Philip.
And also, back again, the newly moved Adam Garcia. How are you doing tonight, Adam?
Exhausted, but I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you back. I mean, we've really missed you the last couple weeks, but I know that moving is a lot of work. I'm glad to hear that you're kind of more or less getting settled in. Everything going okay with the new place?
Yeah, more or less. I just need to get the swelling in my feet down. I need to get rid of the bruises that are still on my body, and I need to learn how to stand up straight because my back is killing me still.
These are all common problems. How was the heat, the weather? Was that okay for you?
All 3 days that I ended up moving, it was 100 plus degrees each day.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Brutal.
That sounds fantastic. I'm jealous that I can't move. I didn't help you move.
Yeah. This is the downfall of having all my friends living in different cities. And also, I think with all of the moving I did, I probably burned off about 8 calories.
Only 8 calories?
Well, he was refilling it with Blue Sky and probably like canes or something.
That's
I couldn't
sucking it down as he's moving.
Triple cheeseburgers from what was that burger place? No, the other
Blue
one.
Sky?
Blue Sky, yeah.
But it's easy to gain calories. It's hard to lose it. Like you work an hour, you lose 5, and you sit down for 20 minutes at Burger King, you gain 3,000. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
It's a true story.
The
other weekend, I went down to my parents have moved to Waco about 6 months ago, and they've been living in a rental house, and they finally their new home that they built was ready, and they were moving in. So I went down to help them, and I was moving boxes in and out all day. And again, it was the same thing. It was like, I don't know, 95 plus degrees. Mm-hmm. And I swear, man, I was done afterwards. And I went to shower and I took off my shirt and I had a heat rash. I had just like red bumps all over my chest.
Oh, I've had that. Oh my God. It sucks so bad.
Rough stuff.
Yeah.
Man. Well, Mike, what about you? I mean, Adam's been busy moving. What have you been up to this past week?
Let's see. Well, my wife's a teacher, so she had to build these binders because she's starting a new job as a private nanny / teacher next week. And I had no idea what was going on. So I got home, I did my thing, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna play some video games. And she's like, Michael, can you help me do this real quick? There's nothing real quick about it. So she got some strips of Velcro, probably 2.5 inch thick stuff, and she had me cut through the Velcro into tiny little 1/4 inch squares. Okay, and then after cutting that, I had to peel them and stick them on these little laminated pieces of paper. I was holding my nails so pressed into my finger, trying to grab these tiny little pieces of Velcro. I started bleeding. Eesh. And we didn't finish until midnight last night.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. That's rough.
What's funny is I before that I got on Rocket League because I was about to start playing, and she called me over, and I was like, okay, so but I stayed logged in on Rocket. I bet everybody thinks I'm just ignoring them.
Dude, I totally did. I almost messaged you last night. I almost messaged you hey, I asked if you wanted to play Rocket League, and you totally ignored me. And now I see you on PC playing Rocket League. I see how it is.
Yeah, no, I was I forgot to log out because I just turned around and I was just, I was shocked at all the work she had to do.
In my mind, you were still ghosting me last night. So thanks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem.
He didn't ghost me. I'm just going to point that out. He didn't ghost me at all.
I didn't.
Yeah. We've decided to homeschool both of our kids this year, and Adam, I can hear the little one. He's getting his lungs a nice workout over there.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if that's coming through to the listeners. I can definitely hear it in my headphones, but that's okay. You know, a fourth host, no problem with that. But yeah, so we also decided to homeschool this year. Our two Emily's in third grade, and Liza started kindergarten this year. So I've spent the last several weeks helping Sarah. I mean, she's done by far most of the work, but I've done, you know, the heavy lifting that she needed in converting her office into basically a classroom, complete with desks and all for the little ones. And they have been doing their first week of school this week. So it's been fun times in the Keeney household. I think it's going okay, but definitely new waters for us to tread this week. But what about anything else going on? Movies or fun stuff?
Yeah,
going
I got
on?
I was reading earlier today. Like I was like on the subreddits, the movie subreddits, and I was reading that they're making a new Flash movie, and it's going to be about the multiverse, and they're going to have Ben Affleck play Batman again. But this time they're gonna have Michael Keaton playing Batman as well in another universe. And from what I was reading, Michael Keaton's gonna have a pretty major role as Bruce Wayne in the Flash movie.
This kind of sounds like the Lego movie.
Yeah, kind of.
There was two Batmans in the Lego movie. I don't know if y'all watched that one or not. Yeah,
Nah.
The first one,
but
or the second one.
Maybe it was the second one. They're all mixed up in my head, man. I just see them as I'm passing through, you know, like with the kids,
right.
whatever nonsense they have on TV.
Right.
That sounds interesting, though.
And they're also remaking Mortal Kombat.
That's the one that I'm just like, I don't know if you should touch that one, dude.
It's
I'm
one of the
I'm excited for it.
semi-decent video game movies out there.
Yeah, you just have to embrace the campiness.
Yeah,
and it's good.
But I mean, that's what Mortal Kombat is, though, right?
Yes, pretty much.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, did you see that little video clip that I don't know if it was leaked or if they put it out on purpose, but it was like live action, or I don't know that's not really the term, but it was like camera footage of people that were doing different poses and things like that. That they used to help animate the original Mortal Kombat game. Did y'all?
I saw that.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
Like the original game.
Yeah, it was funny. The one guy trying to do the kick in the air, and he was using the steps, and he like fell over off the back of the steps.
Yeah.
Or seeing this grown man in a scorpion costume clutching his balls as if he got hit in them.
Right.
Yeah, that was great. Maybe we'll find out more about this new Batman movie at DC Fandom next weekend.
Oh yeah, they're going to be talking about it.
Or this weekend.
I have more to say about that later on in the show. But yeah, they're going to be doing a lot of announcing and stuff like that.
Yeah, spoiler alert. We are going to talk, or Mike is going to talk, hopefully in depth about DC Fandom and educate me, because I am not as filled in about this. So we look forward to that later in the show. Adam, you got anything? I've seen lots of Bill and Ted stuff swirling the internet. That movie's coming soon.
Yeah, that's coming soon. I noticed that they're already doing the pre-sale for the DVDs, and for those who have the pre-sale, they're going to get like some kind of like picture or autograph picture, like not actually autographed, probably like a printed thing, but it'll be of that dude that plays Death. And
that's cool.
I mean that's cool. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but I think like if people who are pre-ordering it now and hadn't even came out yet, you know, I think they deserve a little bit more than that.
Yeah, incentivize them.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all about that, you know? Like, if people are going to actually pre-order shit, like, make it worth their while. Don't give me, like, you know, a stupid skin that I'm going to wear for 5 seconds in a video game, or a poster that I'm going to look at for a few minutes and think that's kind of cool and never actually put it on my wall because I'm a grown man and I don't have posters. That's actually not true, because I have a game room and I have lots of cool Star Wars paraphernalia in here, but still, that's beside the point. I hear what you're saying, Adam. Well, yeah. I want to mention real quick. I want to mention the show Lost Speedways that I've been watching.
Mhm.
So, I don't know if y'all have heard about this Peacock TV service that NBC launched, but it's a you can create an account. It's free or whatever. But I was like, whatever. I'm not interested in this. But I saw some commercials of this show, Lost Speedways, and it's hosted by Dale Earnhardt Jr. Most people have heard of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Even if you're not NASCAR fans, surely you've heard of Dale
Oh, yeah.
Earnhardt Jr. And
Mhm.
the premise of the show is that he tracks and finds all these old racetracks, and then they go and explore them, and it is super neat. I mean, I love racing and I love history, and mixing the two of them. It's a really fascinating show. It's probably not for everyone, but if you are even remotely into NASCAR and old stuff, this show is a must check out. It is really well put together. They've
Cool.
got lots of cool guests on there, like Richard Petty's been on there. They get
Nice.
people from these local tracks to come and tell the history of them. It's really neat, and they go all across. They've been all across like the East Coast and even into the Midwest. Um, all these tracks are just old, dilapidated, run down. Some of them, aren't really even there anymore. It's just really
Right.
fascinating talking about the history of motorsports from like the 40s to like, the 60s, 70s, and kind of how
Cool.
it's progressed. So I don't know. It's a little gem out there because, not many people probably have this Peacock TV service, but if there's any reason to get it, this is it. Really neat show. I'm almost finished with it, and I'm sad because I want more episodes. But that's what I've been binging this week.
Huh? Would it interest you to know that I don't even know how to say it, but I guess semi related to Tony Stewart?
That is very fascinating. You're
How you-
semi-related to Tony Stewart. Can you tell me how?
Yes, my uncle is his half brother.
Your uncle
Oh.
is his half brother. Have you ever met
You're
him?
more than semi-related, I think.
No, it's not like my blood uncle. It's like the uncle that married me.
Oh.
Oh,
So,
okay.
okay.
And like his mom married Tony Stewart's dad. So I guess
Nice.
That's closer than most of us will get to a celebrity.
yeah.
Have you had the chance to meet him?
I have. Well, here's the thing. Like whenever he was still active in NASCAR. They would go out and they would have that hot pass, and they would be with Tony Stewart in that little locker room thing that they would always have him in. And he said, "Yeah, just grab whatever you want." And like all the sponsors like filled up his trailer with everything. They got autograph things, the jackets, and they got to be with him the whole time. And I was like, "Oh, can I go?" And they're like, "No." It's like okay.
Man, he's a character I'd love to meet, and he's a guy that after he got out of NASCAR, he has been all about back to the grassroots of the sport. He loves dirt track racing. He bought and runs Eldora Speedway and got NASCAR trucks onto Eldora, which is a crazy thing to think that the actual truck series, that they kind of modify the trucks for a one-off dirt race every year. It's really neat. I actually think, he was always a very polarizing figure, but I think he does a lot for the sport. But I think that's super cool. All right. I guess enough chit chat. We are a video game podcast. Maybe we should talk about it. So set the scene, everybody. Each and every week, we get together to channel our virtues through the Triforce to provide you all the latest news and general thoughts from the mythical world of video games. We are new and doing this entirely of our own entertainment at this point, simply because we love video games. If you like what you hear, please consider leaving us a like and a review on your podcasting app of choice. And if you really enjoy it, please consider sharing on social media and the like to your friends. You can find us on Twitter at Tricast Gaming P1 and on Facebook at Tricast Gaming Podcast, or finally at our website, tricastgamingpodcast.com. DM us on Twitter or Facebook with your questions. We'd be happy to read them every week. I sit down on my computer and I go to put the show notes together, and I eagerly check Facebook and Twitter, and yet there's not been one question so far. So please, if you have something, write in. I'd love to read it out on the show, as long as it's not inappropriate, as long as it's not like, gonna get us in trouble, inappropriate. I'd love to hear from you guys. So with that, before we get into what we're playing this week, I have just a small surprise for Adam and Mike here. I did not put this in the show notes, but I wanted to ask you some questions about your personal hygiene that I thought could be funny.
Okay.
So question number one, Mike.
Uh-huh.
Do you brush your teeth in the shower?
No. No.
Have you ever considered it?
I thought about it. I mean, I've done it once or twice, but it's not a habit. I think I've done it just because I was like in a rush and I had to like get going, and that's pretty much it. I never really make it a habit of like grabbing my toothbrush. All right, let's go take a shower and brush my teeth. I do that in the sink. Like I normally brush after I shower.
I'm an absolute habitual teeth brusher in the shower. Adam, would you ever, or do you have a personal aversion to public porta johns?
What is that? Is that a porta potty?
Porta potty. Yeah.
Porta potty.
They're called porta johns?
Porta johns. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have to clarify a little bit more. Like, what do you mean?
Like, so for me, if I see a porta john and I have to pee, I will like stand next to the thing and pee. I'm not going inside there. It smells. It's nasty as hell. And like sometimes they'll have like a little personal, hand sanitizer hanging there. I'm like, hell, I'm not touching that.
I don't even touch that.
Nah,
I go to my wife's. My wife has some in her purse I'll use.
That I do go into the porta potties. I just don't poop in it. Because
awesome.
Here's the story. Like we went to whatever Christian concert they have in Dallas on the South Fork Ranch. I completely forgot what it's called, but it was a long line to get in there, and lo and behold, I need to go to the bathroom, and so I see a porta potty right there in the corner. I'm like, oh look, a porta potty. So I go walk the 200 feet that I need to go so I can go to the porta potty. As soon as I close the door, I stand still and I don't move.
You don't. Yeah.
Just by instincts, I don't move because I'm afraid of what's on the walls. Now, most of the time, I'm focused on where I'm aiming, and then for some reason on this day, I decided to look up, and when I did, I saw this brown recluse that was probably about the size of my palm, and it was like right. Maybe about 4 or 5 inches away from my face. And I was like, I can't do this. And so I like quickly zipped up without catching anything in the middle of the zipper. And I just walked right back up.
Yeah, hell no. Yeah. I've done a lot of track working and stuff with motor racing. And we definitely have found 1 or 2 snakes in porta johns. So no, thank you. All right, Mike. Yeah. Have you ever considered using deodorant in places other than under your armpits? Say behind your knees, in between your legs, right underneath the cradle of humanity. Crotch. Yeah.
No. Well, I don't think that'd be healthy. Like there's stuff in there that I don't want near my junk, I think.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. What about talcum powder? Maybe not deodorant, but talcum powder?
I could use that.
Yeah. Shoot some baby powder up in there?
Yeah, I worked with a guy that would call that air conditioner.
Yeah, because
it wouldn't, you wouldn't be sweating at all.
I mean, I think I need to start doing this before I go mow every week when I have to mow, because I think that would help.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Last question. This one's for Adam. Do you ever rewear a pair of socks? Like day 2, you're like, nah, I'm just going to put these suckers right back on, go at it again.
Yeah, especially if I know I'm going to be working just as hard the next day. I do, because I'm just like, why waste another good pair of socks? I mean, I'm going to stink in 5 minutes anyways.
I do this all the time too, and you know what? My wife gave me so much shit for it continuously that I went to the store and I bought like a buttload of socks, and I changed them sometimes even multiple times a day. And I'm like, are you happy with all the sock laundry you have to do now?
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. Okay. So that was
okay. Well, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You all pee in the shower?
Oh my gosh! I intentionally did not ask this particular question.
I do.
Yes, I have
I
peed in
do.
the. I
I do.
probably once a week.
I mean, the
Because like
drain's right there.
you're yeah, and you're just warm. You have to go. Just let it flow, and then like you don't want to get out and get all the floor all sopping wet, and you're cold.
Just to pee
Yeah.
for 20 seconds.
Have you
Yeah,
ever
exactly.
have you ever been caught by your significant other?
No.
Peeing?
What do you think they would say if they caught you peeing in the shower?
I I could ask her, but she's on the phone. I don't think she'd care as long as I didn't get it on her.
Fascinating. Okay, well, I think we should digress out of this horrible conversation that I started and talk about some video games, even though I said 5 minutes ago we were going to talk about video games. Mike,
Let's do it.
you got Rocket League and Diablo on here. We've talked at length about Rocket League. Is there
Mhm.
anything you want to say about Diablo? Diablo 3, I assume?
Yeah, it's just a new season, and I always play the new seasons just because they always add like cool little gimmicky abilities for a season. So this season, every few seconds you like release this huge like elemental ability. So it'll be like arc power, poison, fire, like lava, and some type of elemental damage, and it's pretty fun. And they also doubled up rewards for some bounty quests you do, just kind of help you get started in the season. So that's been pretty fun. Like I'll probably play for another week or two, then I'll stop. That's what I do with Diablo.
Yeah. I mean, it's a super fun
Yep.
game. I've
Yep.
only played through, like, I don't know, I don't know. We played through together once, and I've played through with my sister once, but I've never really delved
Mhm.
into the post game stuff, just to like campaign.
Yeah, it's not really the post game stuff. Like from what I know about your playstyle, you wouldn't really find it enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm not
Not your
really,
cup of tea.
Yeah, Destiny's about the only thing that's ever got me into that kind of
Yeah,
game style.
yeah.
Well, excellent. Yeah, Diablo 3 is a fantastic game. If you haven't tried it out, I highly recommend checking it out. And Diablo 4 is supposed to be in development, so maybe we'll get that sometime next year or something.
Yep, I'm excited.
Awesome. Adam, when I asked you about games, you said that you had played some real life box Tetris. I don't know that counts, but we forgive you and your continual moving of that hopefully is almost out of the way. It's almost in the rearview mirror for you, and you'll be able to bring us some wonderful new games to talk about in the future. So I'll just go on. Concrete Genie, I talked about that a lot before, but I did get my platinum, so I wanted to say that. Platinum number 22
Nice.
for me. So I think like the 6th of this year. So knocking that out. The next game I started playing is Destroy All Humans, the remake. We talked a little bit about it on the podcast last week because it was coming out.
Yeah.
Or maybe the week before. But this is just a remake of a PS2 original. They didn't really do a whole lot with this game other than kind of make it look a little bit, look more modern.
Right.
I think it plays pretty well. It's fun. It can be a little bit challenging, actually. I die frequently playing it, but overall, I'm having quite a bit of fun with it. Some silly humor. It does have this weird message that comes up at the start, saying basically, we didn't change any of the dialogue, and some of the things that people considered acceptable jokes in 2002 or whenever this game first came out may not be considered acceptable now. So user discretion advised. I thought that was interesting that they had to put that disclaimer on there. But I don't know. I mean, it's like a third-person shooter. Each little level. It's a map. There's like 6 different maps, I think, and you can either go in and do free play and just basically blow up shit all over the place, or there's story missions that you can run through. The story is very loose, right? You're like this alien that's coming in and invading Earth, and you're kind of interacting with Earth people in not so nice ways. You're basically just running around shooting your butt probe into people. Reading their minds and trying to distort the human or the American people to your ways as you see fit. But it's fun. It's good. It's good fun. I don't know if I'd recommend going out and buying it right now, but if you see it for like a $15-$20 sale, you want like a little 8 to 10 hour palette cleanser between big games, definitely check it out.
Right.
And the other game that I started last night, and I am absolutely in love with it, is Battletoads. This is the spiritual reboot of the game that came out something like 25 years ago on the NES. It is really cool. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon type art style. Lots of silly, stupid, 16-year-old boy humor that I'm a little bit nostalgic for. It's probably doesn't hit for everyone, but I kind of see the nostalgia in it with the silliness of it. But it's it's basically like a 2D brawler, 2.5D brawler most of the time. The combat's pretty fun. They have lots of little different mechanics with, heavy attacks or light attacks, or you can shoot your tongue out and you can pull enemies to you, or you can shoot bubble gum and like stick them to the floor. There's lots of different enemy types that they mix in. Some will stand off in the corners and shoot things at you. Some things will be aggressive. Some things will put shields up, and they really mix that stuff in, and it can get pretty hectic. And when I fail at it, it sucks. I feel so lame. But when I get into a combat scenario and I handle all the enemies and I get through with like a 200 hit combo without taking any damage, and I handle each one like well, it really is. It's really rewarding and really fun to play the combat part of it to play. So. I think it's really worth a shot. It's on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, you download it, no problem. I think it's really worth it. Apparently, the game's only like 5 to 6 hours long, so it won't take you very long to get through. But I think again, it's really worth seeing. The art style, the kind of stupid jokes of it, and I think capped off by the brawling combat. It's also multi-genre. So like there's sections where you're just doing like 2D platforming. There's sections where it's like a brawler. There's sections where you're on a speeder bike and you're going through like a obstacle course on a speeder bike. There's lots of little mini games in there. There's a whole sequence where you can play, they call it Toad Shambo.
What the
So
heck?
yeah,
That's awesome.
so lots of little funny stuff in there. I really think it's worth checking out. I was looking at the Metacritic scores of it, and it's only got like a 72 overall on Metacritic. And I was like, holy crap, that kind of sucks. And I started looking through it, and like there are some really high scores and then some really low scores. And I think it was capped off by two that I looked at. IGN gave it an 80, and Game Informer gave it a 50. And I read through the two reviews, and I really feel in line with the IGN guy and what he was saying. That's kind of where I'd put the game at for me so far. The Game Informer guy was like talking about how the combat sucked and there was no enemy diversity and the jokes were lame. And I guess it works if that's worthwhile for a game. And I was like, man, this guy just sounds like he did not like the jokes of the game and just shit all over it.
Right.
And I was a little bit disappointed with that review. But overall, check it out. If you have Game Pass, look for that. It's pretty fun. All right.
I completely forgot that was coming out today. So,
It actually launched a little bit early. It launched a few hours early, so I played it for like a couple hours last night before I went to bed. So,
nice.
yeah,
Nice.
it's definitely out there. PC as well. If you have PC Game Pass for PC, you can download it there as well, or on Xbox One, whichever
Sweet.
you choose. All right, I'm going to kick it off into the newsreel. There's a lot of stories in here, but I think they're going to go quick. So here we go. Number 1, July 2020 MPD sales are available. A total of $3.6 billion was spent on the gaming industry across July 2020, representing a huge 32% increase in spending year on year. So the coronavirus continues to be fantastic for gaming. I also saw that it's fantastic for Apple. That's like practically doubled their company's valuation since the coronavirus hit. So
Yeah.
people are spending money on tech stuff, on home entertainment. Video games are benefiting from it. Let's look at the top 20. I think this is the top 20 games for the month. We've got number 1, Ghost of Tsushima, the PlayStation exclusive that we've talked a lot about. I still haven't started. Got to get into that. Number 2,
Me
Call
too.
of Duty Modern Warfare. Number 3, Paper Mario the Origami King. Number 4, The Last of Us Part 2. Number 5, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number 6, Ring Fit Adventure. Number 7, Mortal Kombat 11. Number 8, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 9, Super Mario Smash Bros. Ultimate. Gosh, I would love to be a Nintendo stockholder. Number 10, Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris? I can't even say that. Whatever. That's Sword Art Online game. Go check it out. Number 11, Minecraft PlayStation 4 Edition. Number 12, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I don't even know what number I'm on now. Rainbow Six Siege. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. I mean, how many of these games are Nintendo Switch games? MLB The Show 20, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Need for Speed Heat, Marvel Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Call of Duty Black Ops 3. How many? There was, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
22?
7 Nintendo Switch exclusive games in that top 20. That's amazing. Also, with the NPD numbers, the top 10 best-selling games of the year so far. Not too much unchanged. We've got Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That's the new reboot, not the remake of the original, which that really gets confusing. Number 2 is Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number 3, Last of Us Part 2. Number 4, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Number 5, Ghost of Tsushima. I'd like to have some of that Sony stock too. 3, 4, and 5 Sony exclusives. Number 6, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Adam, your favorite, still hanging on in there. Number 7, MLB The Show 20, another Sony exclusive. Number 8, Resident Evil 3. Number 9, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And number 10, Mortal Kombat 11. So those are your...
I thought it was not in there.
Yeah, it fell out of the top 20.
It just fell like a rock. It's done. I want to go back to the sales numbers for July. I'm surprised that Last of Us is below Modern Warfare.
Well, Last of Us launched in May, so it's been out a couple months.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
I feel like they just launched that.
Yeah, that was May.
Wow.
So
okay, well that makes a little more sense.
Well, that was just 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, Call of Duty is usually the best-selling game every year without fail.
Right.
All right. Our next story here, technically number 3 on my list because I split the two lists of game sales. So number 3, Rocksteady have officially, I can't spell, titled their Suicide Squad project as Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Very descriptive. We will probably talk about that a little bit more later in the show. The full reveal I have here set for August 23 because that's what they originally said, but I think DC Fandom have changed up their schedule, and that's actually going to be on August 22nd. So look for that this weekend. All right, number 4, a new DLC is out now for PSVR title Beat Saber. I have not tried this out, but this latest DLC might get me in there. It's officially licensed Linkin Park tracks, 11 of their songs, and it will cost $14.99 for this pack.
Nice.
Number 5, Sucker Punch announced a free update to Ghost of Tsushima. It is titled simply Legends. This update will be a focus on online cooperative play. You have 4 different characters that you'll be able to choose from when you go in, and it'll include the following game modes. The ability to pair up with a friend to tackle story missions that escalate in difficulty and build on, quote, the foundation of combat from the single-player campaign, but with new magical twists that often require careful synchronization with your partner, end quote. The second part will be the ability to squad up with 4 players to be able to tackle wave-based survival challenges that, quote, are fighting groups of the toughest enemies Tsushima has to offer, including new Oni enemies with supernatural abilities, end quote. I don't know what an Oni enemy is. I really need to get in and try this game out. And then finally, the third bit will be the ability to join a 4-player raid which will follow shortly after the release of Ghost of Tsushima Legends. That will be sending you and your partners to an entirely new realm to challenge a brutal, terrifying enemy. End quote. It's kind of a cool move for a single player game from Sucker Punch Studios, Sony exclusive, as you saw, selling quite well. This is supposed to be free, so that's a lot to kind of add to the game for free. So, they didn't give a release date on that yet, so maybe we'll update you as soon as that comes out in a future show. Number 6, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe for PS4 has been delayed to Q1 2021. Remember, the way video games do their queues is actually, or their quarters is actually April through March of the next year. So Q1 of 2021 will be April, May, June timeframe to look for that one. And I saw
why would they delay that though?
I guess the game's not ready.
But from what I remember when playing it, it's just there. I mean, the game is really just what you decide.
Yeah.
There's really no combat. There's just, you're walking and there's just an office.
Maybe they're just that indecisive.
Maybe it's one guy doing this. I have no idea. I know there's some extra stuff that's coming with the Ultra Deluxe I'd have to look into.
Oh, okay.
So maybe there's some extra content that they're still working on. I didn't see any mention of a PS5 version of it though, so just for PS4 for now. All right, number 7, a new documentary is out today titled Pretending I'm Superman, the Tony Hawk video game story. And it charts how the original game got made. It is available on various digital storefronts, including iTunes, Apple TV, Google Play Store, and Amazon Prime. I'm going to go check this out. Probably not tonight, maybe tomorrow. The new Tony Hawk's 1+2 remaster is coming out in just a couple weeks. I'm excited to go check this out.
Cool.
All right. Number 8, Arcane Leon have announced that PS5 console launch exclusive Deathloop, I forgot the name in my show notes, Deathloop has been delayed to Q2 2021, leaving the PS5 with one less launch title. So as I said, Q2 would be July, August, September timeframe of next year. That's a Bethesda published game, supposed to be a console launch exclusive for PlayStation 5, Deathloop. All right, and number 9, Activision has confirmed that the next Call of Duty title will be called Black Ops Cold War, and we can look for a full reveal of that game next week on August 26th. I know we played a lot of that Black Ops game back in the day. We talked a little bit about that in the text thread. There doesn't seem to be much excitement there, but we'll see. We'll see what the reveal has on offer.
Right, I just can't get back into Call of Duty games like I was before. It's hard to be good at it in my old age. I've lost my reflexes.
We played it so much that we basically burned ourselves out of it
for years.
Yeah, that could possibly
the rest
be
of our life.
Like we played it for I remember we get out of work and then we go straight to the Xbox and then we would play till 10, 11 o'clock at night on the weekday, and then on weekends we basically play all day. So it was like a religious thing for us.
I worked on the weekend, so it might have been just you playing all day.
Oh yeah, that's true. I did work Monday through Fridays. That's right.
That's legit. I mean, I will say though that I have the only Call of Duty game I do not own is Black Ops 4 because it was online multiplayer only. I have bought every other Call of Duty game going all the way back to the original on PC. And I play those campaigns every year, so we'll see what happens. As long as they have a campaign, I'll probably be in there. All right, number 10. The Demon's Souls remake has been rated in Korea, which suggests its release is not that far off. Some saying maybe it could be a launch title. I doubt that, but maybe early next year, maybe the Q4 of 2020 timeframe, so January, February, March timeframe. That would be pretty cool for that one. I don't know if you guys are into the Souls games at all. Demon's Souls is the original. Dark Souls is what really made them famous. And Bloodborne on the PS4 is one of the PS4's best exclusives, also from the same studio, that has done all the Souls games. So excited to see what that looks like. They're not doing this remake. This remake's coming from Blue Point, which is actually an Austin-based studio here in Texas, where 2 of your 3 hosts live. Mike, you used to live down here, but yeah, Blue Point Studios down in Austin are doing this remake. All right, number 11, Gamescom opening night is set for August 27th. That will stream here in the U.S. at 1 p.m. Central Time or 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and will be, according to Jeff Keighley, approximately 2 hours long. Keighley himself is hyping up the show. I'm guessing he's going to host this show. Gamescom itself have confirmed already that more than 20 titles will be present in the showcase. So look for more video game news and reveals next week from current gen and next gen. The summer of gaming continues. I kind of wish we could just go back to one E3 week, but alas, that's not the case. So look forward to that. Maybe we'll see a console, release date announcement. I doubt it though, but one can dream and hope.
Indeed.
Number 12, Sony has officially unveiled the new PS5 advert. So this is a TV spot that they've put out. It features an emphasis on the PS5's major innovations that aim to immerse you even further in games. So the 3D audio and the controller and the haptic feedback in the controller. It's a flashy promo, and you can read more about it over on the PlayStation blog. There's no gameplay in it. It's like a live action person doing game stuff, pretending to do game stuff, and you're supposed to be able to get the feel that you're getting 3D audio by this commercial, and that you can get the haptic feedback from the bow being pulled back from the screen. I didn't get it at all, but go check it out. It's out there. But maybe a little bit more interesting, kind of tacked on to this release, there was an interview with SVP and head of global marketing at Sony, Eric Lempel. We've talked about Eric Lempel on the show before, but he said, quote, "It's a massive challenge on every front." This is in relation to launching a console during a year with COVID-19. "Not just for the parts of the organization that I oversee, but for all parts of the organization. The nice thing is that we're pulling it together. We will launch this year. That will happen. And from my end, we will absolutely make sure that we will bring all the magic and all the excitement of launches that we have had in the past." There's a bigger interview. There's more stuff. This is all I pulled out of here. The reason I pulled this out is that he is reiterating twice in the sentence that they will launch this console this year. So, I mean, anything can happen, but Xbox, there was a Phil Spencer interview where he said, "Look, I took the first, in a box, like retail version of Xbox One X or Xbox Series X, home this past weekend, and I played it. It's there. It's ready. We are going to launch this weekend." And here's Sony saying the same thing. These consoles are coming this year unless something happens, but we still don't have a release date or a price, and it's almost the end of August. So go figure. All right. Number 13. Here is your roundup of games coming in and out of Xbox Game Pass. So, games leaving Xbox Game Pass on August 31st, we have Creature in the Well, Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams, Metal Gear Solid HD Edition 2 and 3, the Metro Last Light Redux, and the Jackbox Party Pack 3. Leaving on September 1 is NBA 2K20, and on September 7th is Red Dead Redemption 2. Get in there, play them now. You have a couple more weeks. I just
downloaded Red Dead 2.
That's awesome. Well, you have a couple weeks to finish that mammoth game. Or with your Game Pass membership, you get 20% off purchasing the title. So if you don't get it finished before then, you could still get it at discount before it leaves Xbox Game Pass.
Sweet.
So item number 14 is an extension of this. These following games are going to be added into Game Pass over the next couple weeks. August 18th, you had Microsoft Flight Simulator on PC, and then Spiritfarer on Xbox One and PC. On August 20th, we've got a slew of games. Battletoads, Xbox One and PC. Crossing Souls, PC only. Darksiders Genesis, PC only. And Don't Starve Giant Edition, Xbox One and PC. On August 21st, that's tomorrow, new Super Lucky's Tale, Xbox One and PC. Next week on August 27th, we've got Tell Me Why Chapter 1 and Hypnospace Outlaw, both Xbox One and PC. On the 28th of August, we've got Double Kick Heroes and a new Xbox first-party studio from In Exile, Wasteland 3. Both of those games also Xbox One and PC. On September 1, we've got Crusader Kings 3 on PC. And September 3rd, the one I'm actually really excited about because I almost bought this game the other day to finally give it a try, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Xbox One and PC. That will be available on Xbox Game Pass. So lots to look forward to. Remember some of these names because we're going to talk about them again in the new games this week. So those are all on Xbox Game Pass. All right, number 15, a little bit of text here to read, but I felt like it was worth it. Microsoft has today from the article, this was earlier this week, Microsoft earlier this week unveiled a look at the new Xbox experience, a new connected ecosystem for Xbox that will be shared across Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Windows 10, and mobile this November when Series X launches. The company says that the new Xbox experience will look and feel designed to be faster to use, more approachable, and visually appealing, featuring more readable text, easier to understand elements on screen, and the ability to accomplish your tasks faster than ever, they claim. For example, the home screen will reportedly load more than 50% faster, not 50 times, 50% faster when you boot your Xbox console moving forward, and will be almost 30% faster to load when returning from a game. And better yet, all of this will use 40% less memory than what was previously required. Presumably, this helps all your games run better on Xbox Series X. If you're expecting a brand new look to everything, you might be disappointed. Microsoft says that the layout of most of the console pages will remain familiar, but just faster and more focused. We talked about this on a show a couple weeks back, where this is one of the things that I'm disappointed about. I want something that looks and feels new, but I don't know. I'll wait and give it a shot. The store will be getting a huge overhaul. However, that does look very interesting. I've seen some screenshots on that. That looks promising for the new Xbox store. And if you are an Xbox insider, look for this because you might get a chance to try this early. All right. Number 16. If you download and this is going back to the Battletoads game. If you download and complete Act 1 of the all-new Brawler, starring Rash, Zitz, and Pimple, you can unlock the Fighting Frogs ship. Oh, that's right. I didn't mention. That's their names. That's the names of the three characters. And you can actually play as each of those three different characters, Rash, Zitz, and Pimple. I should have mentioned that in the when I was talking about the game. They're unique. One of them is like heavy hitter. He's slow and he hits really hard. One of them's super fast. One of them's kind of in between. But yeah, Rash, Zitz, and Pimple are your characters. You can unlock, if you complete Act 1, you can unlock the Fighting Frog ship set in Sea of Thieves. It looks really cool. It's a whole loadout for your ship in Sea of Thieves. So all you got to do is get in there, play through Act 1. I think I played for about an hour, a little over an hour last night, and I was pretty much through Act 1. So it won't take you too long to get that. All right, and finally, our last story, number 17. This came out today, I think. We shared it around our group text. Rocket League developer Psyonix has announced updates to the tournament mode. There's a lot out there. I'm just going to take this one portion from their press reveal that they put out today. Synopsis here. Players will soon be able to sign up for competitive tournaments, a new ranked mode within tournaments that pits you against teams of similar skill to earn rewards. Each region has multiple competitive tournaments scheduled each day, so you'll have plenty of opportunities to compete. You can sign up from the revamped tournaments menu that shows the daily schedule for your region. Pretty excited to try this out, Mike. We're going to have to get ruthless about our three-man team, though.
Yeah. I'm so glad they revamped this. It's like when they added tournaments, I was excited. Sweet, this will be awesome. And then it just kind of fell flat on its face after like nobody does anything with it.
Yeah,
you could sign up for something, but like it's just there's no incentive to actually play.
Yeah. So this is going to bring in incentives and rewards that you can earn based on how you finish in the tournament to get different unlocks that will rotate out every season. So every season there will be new, different, unique items that you can earn by competing in these competitive tournaments. Something new to do in Rocket League. All right. Well, that is our news reel for August 20th, episode number 5. With that, we're going to move into our topics of the show. Mike, I'm going to leave you to start this off because I am tired of talking. So send us on topic number 1 here. DC Fandom.
Yes. So I was a huge DC fan before like all this Marvel stuff came out. I'm not saying Marvel's bad, but I like this was my life. And then Marvel came out. I'm like, well, shit, now I like Marvel. Well, anyway, so whenever they announced this schedule for Fandom, I was very, very excited. I'm going to go over some of the things that are kind of like interesting to me as far as what's going to be showed as far as panels. We got Wonder Woman 1984, the Suicide Squad, the new movie. Let's see what else we got. The Snyder Cut of the Justice League, which I'm pretty interested in. The Black Adam panel will happen, and then the Shazam panel, and then also Wonder Woman cast plays werewolf. It's a tabletop game. It's pretty fun. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the Batman panel, the new movie with Robert Pattinson, and the Warner Brothers Games Montreal announcement. As far as the Warner Brothers games, the rumor is going to be the Batman Court of Owls story, and they're saying that Damian Wayne will be the protagonist. If you don't know, Damian Wayne is the son, or he was actually kind of made in a lab to be like this epic assassin that was kind of raised by Talia al Ghul. And something happened to Talia. She's like, all right, this is your son now, so you take him. So Bruce Wayne had to raise him. But he's going to be the protagonist, thinking he's going to be the protagonist in the movie or in the game, which I'm pretty excited about if that's going to happen. Dang it, where'd my notes go? Let me see. And the Suicide Squad game, Kill the Justice League. I think what I'm hoping that's going to be, I don't know anything about the game. Yeah, I just know that's it's going to being made, but I'm hoping you get to play kind of like they do in Mortal Kombat, where you like kind of progress the story through the characters. And I'm hoping you do that through the Suicide Squad characters, all of them. And you can kill each one of the Justice League members. I'm interested to see how they decide to off Batman, because it's going to be very hard for me to do that.
You think they'll actually kill them?
They won't.
I hope so.
How would that be? How do they fit that into like some kind of canon story?
I have no idea, but we'll see like what they do with it.
Okay, so let me roll back here. You said the Warner Bros. Montreal announcement, which they've done a lot of teasing, but they've not officially said it's going to be a Batman game.
It's a rumor, yeah.
Everybody's pretty like nailed on it's going to be a Batman game. But this is coming from Warner Bros. Games Montreal, so this is not the main Batman studio.
Yeah, no. Was it Rocksteady?
Rocksteady is the main Batman studio. Yeah.
No, this is Montreal.
So, but this Montreal studio, they haven't released a game since 2013, which was Batman Arkham Origins was the last game that they released. But they did do all of the DLC packs, or a lot of the DLC packs for Batman Arkham Knight, the Red Hood story pack, the Harley Quinn story pack, Batgirl, and Scarecrow's Nightmare pack. So they've been working on Batman games, over the last couple of years still. I thought Arkham Origins was pretty good. I enjoyed it, but it's pretty underrated, I guess, or oft ignored, I guess, of the Arkham. Everyone talks about the Arkham trilogy and basically just ignores Origins. But So
I'm hoping people include it when they talk about the Arkham trilogy. I mean, it's like a prequel to those, is what it felt like to me. But it was really good. About
a trilogy of games, you got to be leaving one out since there's 4.
I don't need your logic right now, Philip. But anyway, Origins, like I enjoyed Origins, Origins, my God, I can't talk. And so I have full confidence that this is going to be a great game that they're going to come out with. because our Origins was really, really good in my opinion.
Okay, so you have confidence in Montreal to give us a good Batman game. Do you think it'll
Yes.
be in the same vein as the Arkham games, like a semi-open world type?
Yeah, just because that's what's worked well for them. If they do change it, I hope it's not by much. Because like in Arkham Knight, whenever they added the Batmobile, like it kind of knocked it down a few pegs for me as far as quality for myself, just because it made the world smaller. And I liked as Batman able to like throw your what the hell do you call it? Your batarang and like or not your batarang, but your gun that like you
Your grappling hook
shot. And, yeah, grappling hook. That's it. I mean, that was like the fun part for me was like use my grappling hook across the city, and having a Batmobile just kind of like
What's that
it just
gun that
made
you
me
shoot into a building and it helps me fly? I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but
I
hope,
was totally not making fun of you at all there.
no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm
Do
gonna
you
probably
think-
cry after this, but
Oh.
it's okay.
Do you think this will be a PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X game, or do you think they'll do a current gen version?
I bet they're probably working on it. Oh, I'm pretty sure it might be a next gen game.
Yeah, that's intriguing too. When they are going to try to put those two games out, being so similar, like I wonder what the release schedule is for those two.
Yeah.
Adam, do you have any questions for Mike? I talked a lot here. Sorry,
No, you're
go
good.
for it.
No, you're good.
You're good. No, I don't have any questions really. It seems pretty straightforward, and it's just more of like hypothetical questions. But I guess we'll just wait and see whenever fandom actually starts.
Yeah, they have it going 24 hours apparently, but I think let me see the schedule again. Yeah, after the Batman panel, everything after that is going to just be encores. So it's just going to be replays. If you missed it, you can watch it again at 2:00 in the morning if you really, really want to watch it again. But there's nothing after 10:30 in the morning on Sunday. So yeah, like the premiere stuff ends with the Batman panel at 6:30 on Saturday, August 22nd. Then after that, it's just all encore. Unless they are going to change something to the schedule. Like it just looks like it's going to go until 6:30 on Saturday.
Gotcha.
The
So
22nd.
So did you? Are they gonna? When you say the panels, are they gonna actually like live stream
Oh yeah,
people talking or answering questions? I guess or whatever.
yeah. There's like you can go to the fandom website and you can make an account, and you can actually like you tie in your email, and you can select the panels you want to watch, and it'll send you an email or a notification saying, "Hey, the panel's about to start," and you can come to this website and it'll be streaming for you for free.
Okay, so the only way to stream it is through the website.
That's what I'm reading here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I went to try to see what the schedule was, and it kept making me want to create an account. And I was like, I'm not going to create an account right now. I got other things to be doing, but maybe I'll have to go check some of these panels out.
I mean, and they're going to be replaying them all after 6, so you can just if you miss something, you can go back and watch it.
Okay, cool. Very intriguing. I don't think I really have anything else. I'm sure that we'll spend a lot of time next week talking about these reveals. As we oft do, we're both excited for both of these games. Actually, all of us are probably excited for both of these games.
Yes.
I've played every one of the Arkham games so far. I 100%ed Arkham Knight. I 100%ed Arkham Origins, and I thought it was great. So screw anybody who doesn't like Arkham Origins.
So you went and found all the Riddler trophies?
Okay. I found like 200 and something of the Riddler trophies, and then said, hell with this, I'm not doing this anymore. But I did everything else. I admit it. I didn't actually 100%. It was like 98 point something percent when I gave up on the Riddler trophies. You got me.
Yeah,
Wow.
I wanted that. I wanted the full endings. Like I gotta finish these Riddler trophies.
That was brutal. There was like 300. The only thing that I've experienced that's worse than that in a video game recently are both on the Nintendo console, and that is Zelda Breath of the Wild with their 900 and something little I don't even remember what they're called, but they're little things that you find in the world, and they give you
The little
upgrade
leaf guys.
Yeah, the little leaf guys. I can't remember what they're called. And also another Nintendo game, Mario Odyssey, with their 900 and something stars. Both of those
Hey, I've done that twice.
Yeah.
It is not that hard.
slightly
Oh my gosh.
more obnoxious than the Riddler trophies. Good. I mean, fair play to you. I got something like 600 and something moons in Odyssey, and that's when I gave up. So,
Jesus.
all right.
Wow.
Well, next week we'll talk more about what we see at the fandom. I'm sure we'll give each of the exciting reveals sometime on our show. So with that, I'll move on to Adam. Adam, you've got something you wanted to talk about. Take us away with topic number 2 of the show: Facebook game streaming, whatever they call it.
Yeah, whatever they call it, because it just kind of seems like a cluster. Other word inserted here. Basically, since Mixer went out, they encouraged everyone to move to Facebook gaming, and they're like, "Hey, just go this way." And then like Facebook knew that no one liked Facebook for gaming, because honestly, when I tried to stream on Facebook during the Extra Life game day event, it only let me stream an hour, and I was like, "Well, screw this! I'm not even going to worry about it anymore." But anyways, they know that they're doing certain things wrong, and so they've been trying to fix it. So they said that they're taking the approach of introducing themselves politely and then respectfully delivering results, which is extremely vague if you ask me. But the numbers are out for Facebook gaming, and they come in third, obviously, because Twitch has over 5 billion hours watched for the quarter ending in June. Google's YouTube comes up with 1.5 billion hours watched, and that's number 2. That is a huge gap between Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
Facebook gaming comes way behind with only 822 million hours watched. Now, if you really think about that, if I'm sure you guys have seen it at one point or another, when you're scrolling through Facebook, you'll run into this random streamer who's playing Fortnite.
And I was going to say, because that counts as us watching, even though we're just scrolling through Facebook, right?
Exactly. So it's like, how much of that is actually people watching this crap?
Right. Yeah.
So
that's why I was like, that's surprising.
yeah,
There's no way.
So backing up here, just 1 second though. Mixer, just to set the scene, Mixer was Microsoft's live streaming platform. And by live streaming platform, we mean a service that you can link onto your games console account. You can press a button and you can stream out whatever game that you're playing at that time for other people to watch and interact with you. Or, you know, if
Right.
you're me, nobody watch and interact with you and you just talk to the ether.
or
But yeah, so Mixer was Microsoft's platform. They shut that down on July 23rd, I think.
Yes.
So not that long ago. So we're not talking about a long time that people have been being directed to Facebook gaming. And again, if you're talking about the quarter ending in June, those Facebook numbers would have been from before the Mixer shutdown. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what Q2 of 2020 holds for Facebook gaming to know how that shift is actually helping. But yes, so setting the scene, that's what we're talking about. Continue, Adam. Regale us with these wonderful numbers.
Yeah, and honestly, here's another thing from that the CNN business page that I shared with you guys. In the quarter ending in June, before Mixer shut down, it was in last place as usual with 106 million hours watched. So
Yeah.
not too much difference, I guess, for that last quarter, but it's still pretty bad. But honestly, I was kind of sad because I like the Mixer community, because the few times that I did stream on that, you know, the community was actually there and more interactive than the other platforms.
That is shocking. Only 106 million people on Mixer. Like, that is
Exactly.
a massive drop off, even from Facebook's 822 million.
Exactly. And then you have to think also, like, Mixer even signed what's that dude's name? Ninja
And
Yeah.
Shroud.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
signed them, and they still couldn't even save the platform.
They both left, though. When did they leave?
They left after it shut down, and
Really?
which Ninja went to YouTube, and I'm not sure exactly where Shroud went.
Shroud went back to Twitch.
Did he?
So you're
Okay.
telling me that 106 million included Ninja still being on Mixer?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, half of that was probably for Ninja.
Dude,
Exactly.
yes. Dude, Ninja like made out like crazy insane because he signed an exclusive deal to only stream on Mixer, and then a month later they shut down the service. They're like, all right,
They paid him money on the level of like professional baseball players.
yeah,
It's like millions of dollars a year.
Fake. And all you had to do is just stream on Mixer, and then they shut it down. Like, all right, well, I'll just take your money and go back to wherever I want to go stream.
Just play that shit Fortnite. That's all you had to do.
Yeah,
And I'm
much.
honestly proud to say that I have not watched 1 minute of Ninja ever play. So because I'm proud of that, to be honest with you.
I can't say that I've ever watched Ninja, but I don't watch a whole lot of Twitch streaming either. Anything else on this topic, Adam, that you wanted to pick out?
Yes, it actually says right here in this article that says Facebook Gaming said that more than 700 million of its 2.4 billion active users, quote unquote, engage with gaming content on its platform each month. Which I'm just like, with the numbers that I read earlier, how does that match with this? Because it's two conflicting things, if you ask me.
Well, so they're saying that the first number is saying the number of hours of video content that's been watched. So, obviously that means that whoever's watching it is watching more than just an hour of video content in that 3-month period, which makes sense, right? I mean, do you think people probably average maybe something closer to like an hour a day that they're watching some of the stuff rather than an hour in a 3-month period. So I think that's where the disconnect's coming from, right? So you got 800 million hours of video content that users have watched through that quarter versus they're saying they have 700 million users interacting with gaming content on their platform in some way or another.
So those 700 million people basically watch a little over an hour.
Well, and it's not those seven. And I doubt every one of those 700 million people are watching Facebook gaming streams because, like, if you look further into the article, they break it down to saying that like over half of those are people that play games like Farmville. So that's like your grandma on her computer playing Farmville. So I don't know. It says here 200 million watching gaming live streams. So that means that that 800 something million hours split between 200 million people. So roughly 4 hours or so a person.
So
Which
I just
isn't a lot, honestly.
No, it's not.
no.
But it also it makes me wonder, like, how do they measure, like, even people like who are just scrolling through Facebook and that just so happen to stop on a stream and they get counted for the live stream.
I wonder if there's like a retain rate, like it'll start counting after you've like continued watching for like longer than 10 minutes. Yeah. It'll start counting your time probably. I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, I think they need to be separated. Like, Facebook gaming shouldn't be on the news feed of Facebook. I mean, it's already hard enough to look at Facebook feeds nowadays with the way things are going. And I don't need some random dude playing games saying, and then just, I just don't. That's just what I think.
I have my set to where it doesn't autoplay any videos.
Yeah, same.
So
yeah, I don't either, but I still see it for some reason.
Dude, I'm too often like scrolling through social media, like when I'm on a meeting call or something. I don't want some random video popping up to start playing.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, it's be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Facebook gaming. I have no interest in trying to stream through Facebook gaming, but more power to them, I guess.
Yeah,
right.
I never will.
All right, so I'll move on to our final topic of the show. It's my topic. It's Xbox. Xbox again. I feel like I talk about Xbox a lot, but I don't know. Phil Spencer did an interview recently. I think this is from. He was on the Animal Talking show. This is actually. I don't know if y'all have heard about Animal Talking, but it was a little show put on by Gary Whitta. In conjunction with Kind of Funny Games. Gary Whitta is actually a writer. He wrote like Star Wars Rogue One. He wrote the script for that movie. He's written some of the Star Wars comic books. But he's come on as a co-host on Kind of Funny, which is a pretty big gaming show or gaming podcast and TV and show as well. They do video content. But he was doing a little segment where he actually set up in his Animal Crossing thing, he set up like a late night TV show host thing, and he would interview people inside Animal Talking. It was a neat little idea. He had Phil Spencer on there, and there's lots of stuff that's come out of that show. So go watch it on YouTube, see what Phil Spencer had to say. But there was some bits that were really intriguing to me, and that's what I want to chat about again here. So I'm going to read a couple quotes from Spencer. I'm going to give you a little bit of my thoughts and see what you guys think. So from Phil Spencer, quote, "We want people to feel like they're a member of Xbox, and that membership in Xbox isn't about one device. It can be multiple devices. I want to have a great experience on the television, and I think Xbox Series X is absolutely going to deliver that, and I'm incredibly excited by the lineup of games that we're building. But it is fundamentally different than the traditional console war as people talk about. How many consoles do I sell versus how many consoles does another company sell? Sony or Nintendo or other companies back in the day that's not our approach. If the traditional console war was our approach, we wouldn't put our games on PC. We wouldn't put our games on Xbox One. We wouldn't do xCloud and allow people to play games on their phones. And I'm not disparaging someone else's approach, but when I talk to fans and customers, what I say is, when you're a member of Xbox, we want to build the experience around you." End quote. So he's being very clear here. He's not interested, or their metrics of success is not a comparison of their console sales between the Xbox Series X and the PS5. I think this was pretty obvious to anybody with even a walnut for a brain, but console wars really set some people off, and they really maybe just needed a slap in the face to really see this, but they'll probably still deny it. Who knows? Anyway, I'm tying this back because I got into like a little Twitter exchange with some people that were talking about how the original tweet was basically saying that Sony could literally take a PS5 and put it inside take a PS4 console and put it inside a PS5 shell and sell it to you, calling it the PS5, and it would still outsell the Xbox Series X. And honestly, I don't think that this guy is that far off in that assertion, and I don't think that he meant it to be, a commentary on Sony fans. I think he meant it as a dig at Xbox, and honestly, I think it just shows the absolute opposite. I think it shows the absurdity of people that are just, I kind of hate the word simping, but I don't really know what else to call it. I mean, simping for Sony, like just straight up, you will do anything for them. You will parrot their lines, and I don't understand it. I mean, listen. You guys can go back and listen every show. You know what my thoughts are. You know how hard I've been on Xbox. You know how much I'm liking what Sony PS5 is doing. You guys have heard. I'm going to get a PS5 at launch. I'm excited for it. Yeah. I like playing games on the PlayStation console. I'm trying to get you guys to come in. But the thing is I will always hold them accountable, because if I hold them accountable, I ultimately get a better product as a consumer. And honestly, that's all I give a shit about. I don't care how much money Sony makes. I don't care how much Eric Lempel is making in bonuses because they sold 10 million consoles at launch. I don't fucking care. Like that doesn't matter to me. What matters is that I have to go and save up $500 and I have to put it down on your console, and I want a good console. So I'm always going to hold you accountable. And I don't understand people that don't seem to get this, because when I look at what Microsoft's doing, the fact that I want to go buy one of their consoles too, it's because of what they're doing with Game Pass. We're going to talk about it in a second. Spiritfarer launched this week. That's not an Xbox exclusive. That's not a first party game, but it's launching day and date on Game Pass. New Super Lucky's Tale, launching day and date on Xbox Game Pass. That's not a Microsoft first party game. There's a lot of these indie games out there doing this on top of what Microsoft first-party studios are coming out with. And you can say all the shit that you want, but if you're going to seriously look me in the face and say that Gears Tactics not a AAA excellent game, if you're going to seriously look me in the face and tell me that Will-O-the-Wisp is not an excellent game, then you can just straight up take your console shit and go home, because I don't know what you're doing if you can't see that. I mean, that blows my mind that people can't say, you know what, Yeah, those are cool looking games, and it sucks that I can't afford both consoles, and I had to pick Sony because ultimately they are doing more that I like. That's fine. If that's your
Hmm.
argument, I could totally understand it because listen, I feel the same way. I kind of like the PS5 a little bit more than the Xbox One or the Xbox
Hmm.
Series X this fall. But to just straight up ignore what else is going on out there, and to straight up ignore the fact that Game Pass is an amazing deal for players. And
Right.
honestly, it in some ways it doesn't even make sense that Microsoft would go and do that for gamers, but they're doing that, and they're giving you one pass to PC, to phones, to Xbox. They're saying if you give us this one subscription, you can play your games wherever you want to play them. We just care that you're in our ecosystem in terms of our subscription service. That's it. That's all they care about. And
Yeah.
Phil Spencer is saying it plain as fucking day right here. We don't care about console sales in terms of whether or not we're doing well this generation. What we care about is our subscription platform, and do we have people on our subscription platform, and are our studios putting out good software, good content to bring people to our subscription platform? If you only want to play on your phone, excellent. If that's all you want to do is cloud stream on your Google phone and play our games that way, love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. We're totally fine with that. If you want to go get something hooked up to the TV and you're playing on your phone and you realize, hey, wait a minute, Sea of Thieves is really fun. I want to go get in with that with my friends, and you want to buy one of our consoles, great. Or if you already have a PC and you want to go download the app on your PC and download Sea of Thieves there, fantastic. That's all we care about. And I think that
Yeah.
that is an amazing mindset, and I hope that more people pay attention to this because I mean I think Sony has to. I want people to put Sony in a position where they have to start following suit.
Yep.
Because I mean, listen, Nintendo's already gone off and done their own thing. They've already broken off. Xbox are breaking off now. What happens
Hmm.
when Sony are only competing with themselves?
Yeah. That could go downhill for them pretty quick because they have nobody to like really compete against. So it's just they're going to kind of slack off a little bit, I think.
Like, guys, I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm ready for the race. Who am I racing against?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Myself.
Exactly.
what's happening with WWE. Since there's no real competition, they just compete with themselves, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah. No, you need somebody to push you, and I think Sony needs to have they need an answer for what Microsoft is doing, just to be able to like they need to make each other better, and I hope they do, just because it's better for the consumers.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I know I just went on like a several minute tirade there, but I feel really strongly about this. I'm really pulling for Microsoft to succeed in this, but honestly, like the thing is they have to succeed with their software. I mean, Game Pass is
Hmm.
a great deal. Um, but if what you're launching in Game Pass isn't worth it, um, then it's going to be a problem. And I think that's why you see that ultimately for them the best corporate decision was to delay Halo Infinite. We can still put the
Right.
Series X out this fall. We can still do that. And we can delay Halo Infinite at the same time because
Hmm.
really our strategy is not about selling 100 million of these consoles. That's really not our
Right.
strategy. Our strategy is providing a great game service, and that is founded on great games. Because how can you have a great game service without great games? And so
Right.
it makes sense to me that they can make that decision and they can say, you know what, even if it's a year. I mean, I've seen people talking about, well, maybe now Halo Infinite will end up getting delayed all the way into fall of 2021. I still think that's okay. I still think
Yeah.
that's fine for Microsoft because they still have software in their system. I mean, this week we just listed off Flight Simulator, Battletoads, Tell Me Why, and Wasteland 3. That's 4
Yeah.
games this
Hmm.
week from their studios or from their partnerships that are coming out into Game Pass and into their services and in their ecosystem. And the fact is if you want to play Battletoads and all you have is a PlayStation, you still can't play it. So,
Yeah.
people saying that oh, well, it's not exclusive to your console. Well, tell me, if you only have a PlayStation, if that's all you can play on, can you play Battletoads? Can you play Sea of Thieves? Can you play
Right.
Gears of War 5? Can you play Forza Horizon 4? No, you can't. You got to go get something else, whether that's a PC, if that makes most sense to you, or that's an Xbox. You still got to go get something else. You still got to go get involved in their ecosystem. So I don't know. I could probably talk all day on this, but what do you guys think? I mean, I'm ranting a lot, but
I mean, I see where you're coming from 100%, man. I've said it before, but I think this is like where the future of gaming is going, and Xbox just has a head start on it. Like, the Sony will have to do something to kind of answer to what Microsoft's doing. Like you said, Nintendo's doing their own thing now too. So this is just the future, and you either change or die.
Yep.
100%. 100%. It'll be interesting to see how long Sony goes doing the route that they're doing. I mean, if at the end of the day it is really all about selling consoles for them, and what really keeps people buying their consoles is their first party exclusives, then they still got to keep that quality up, and maybe that'll sustain it. Maybe that's okay. Maybe we can have an ecosystem where Sony does what they do, Xbox does what they do, and Nintendo does what they do, and maybe it works. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, they do put out some amazing games on Sony, and that's like a really big pull for me to actually buy a PlayStation this fall. Because I already have a PC that'll play a lot of these games on Game Pass. So I'm like, I don't need another Xbox. Just because that's the great thing about what Microsoft is doing is I don't have to put down $500. I can play on whatever I have already. I can play on my phone, my tablet, and my PC.
Yep, absolutely.
So I don't have to go spend that money.
And here's another thing that I don't think people talk a lot about. If I wanted to play Rocket League with you on PC, is there a way for us to natively get together the way we can on Xbox? I don't think so.
No.
Microsoft are supporting PC really well. You see the garbage that Horizon Zero Dawn is, that they're trying to put, they're trying to finally put one of their PlayStation games out, and it's not gone well.
Yeah.
Microsoft are really supporting PC. I can see what you're doing on Rocket League. I can invite you to a party on Rocket League. We can get together. We can chat. We can do all of those things as if you're just running an Xbox console with me. That sort of interplay is amazing.
Yeah.
And it was not here at the start of this console generation. And the reason we're here is because Microsoft are driving that interchange on platforms. And I mean, recognize it. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking people to do is recognize that even if this is not so important to you. I saw people saying, we only want to play with other PlayStation players. We don't even want cross-play. That doesn't
Oh my gosh.
I'm like,
what the hell?
I'm like, okay, even if that doesn't matter to you, that matters to a lot of other people. How fucking selfish do you have to be so hard on your Sony-ness that you can't even say, well, yeah, you know what? It doesn't affect me. So yes, go bring other players together.
Right. The way I think I see Sony going is like, they have a lot of these single player. I mean, these single player games are great. I think they're going to be a lot of their games are going to be focused more toward a single player type game. You see what I'm saying? Like a majority of those games are just single player. Like can't really play multi. I mean, you have Call of Duty and all that, but I think when people start playing those games in the future, they're like, well, I don't have a lot of people to play with. Like they're going to be like, well, shit, we can't play with anybody because we don't have cross-port. And then. I think if Sony's great at making those single story solo play games, and if that's what they want to do, that's great. But as far as like multiplayer type stuff, I can see them having issues in the future.
Yeah, well, I mean, they'll keep driving their partnerships with things like Call of Duty and that's where their multiplayer will be. And I mean, that's fine. That is fine. I mean, they're putting a fantastic ecosystem out there. If you just want to be in Sony, there's lots there for you. I just think that there's more interesting ideas out there that people should be intrigued by. and holding Sony to a standard keeps that standard being high for you, because it's not that long ago that Sony were in the gutters with the launch of the PS3. It could happen again.
Yep.
You got to hold them to that standard. So that's my. I feel like this is my first true tirade on this show. So enjoy it, folks.
Oh yeah, it's one for the books.
One for the books. All right. Unless anybody else has anything more on that, I'm going to move to wrap up the show. I got a few games I want to highlight that are coming out this week that are interesting looking. We've got Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is PC only. We've got Spiritfarer. This is on everything, but if you have Game Pass, you can go download it and try it out. Battletoads just came out, also on Game Pass. Go download it, try it out. It's on Xbox One and PC. New Super Lucky's Tale is coming out tomorrow. It's kind of in the vein of like a Spyro 3D platformer type game. I played through the first one. It's okay. But it's on PS4 and Xbox One, but also Game Pass. Go download it, try it out. If you have it already, no extra cost to you. And then probably the game I'm maybe most looking forward to this week, Samurai Jack Battle Through Time, comes out tomorrow. PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. So you can play this on the Nintendo Switch as well if you want. That's all I got for today. Mike, Adam, do y'all have anything else to add before we wrap up the show?
I think I've said my piece.
I want to add something.
Let's hear it.
But it's kind of gaming related, but it's not at the same time. Like, whenever you see, like, going back to wrestling, since obviously I'm a huge wrestling fan. If you haven't noticed that,
if Phil can talk about FIFA, you can talk about wrestling.
Of course.
That's a good point. I saw in the news that one of these female wrestlers had an attempted, like someone tried to abduct her from her home, and that infuriates me to no end, because one, she's a very well known person. Two, she's an athlete. It's not like she can't fight. And three, why? Period.
Well, people have problems.
Was it targeted? Did they intentionally go for her, or was it just random?
They intentionally went for her. Like, they found out later that this dude had been sending her messages upon messages upon messages from multiple accounts, in which the last one said, "Hey, look over here. I'm by the pool."
Damn.
So this dude was just like stalking like crazy. And so
that's crazy.
The reason I want to bring this up is because, we like what we like, we hate what we hate. But at the end of the day, like, especially like with these executives for these gaming companies and for celebrities that we like to watch on TV all the time, sometimes we just have to take a breath and realize that these are people too. And if there's something that we don't like, we need to remember that they're doing the job too. And not to take things way personal like the way this dude did, because obviously it didn't work. And so it makes me worried for the way people are handling things. And that's just what I wanted to bring up, because I don't like what people are doing today.
And and like that kind of reminds me of what's that character you didn't really like that much in Last of Us 2? That story, is it Abby?
Yeah, Abby.
Like, that voice actress was getting death threats. Like, people were blaming her. Yeah. Did you not hear about that?
Yeah, I was about to bring that up too, because we didn't touch on this really, but the video game industry itself is experiencing this with The Last of Us Part 2 a lot. There were definitely people that were upset about some of the performances there. I'm trying to look this up really fast. I'm killing time so as not to have, a pregnant pause here. What was her name? I'm pretty sure I know it, but I want to be sure before I say it. Yes, Laura Bailey. Laura Bailey is the actress's name. That was her name. And she definitely got a lot of hate thrown her way because of people's displeasure with her character in the game. Her character, like, what's the train of, like, what's the thinking there? Like, she's just reading a script.
Exactly.
What the hell's wrong with people?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that with the cast of the Last of Us, and the relationship they have with Neil Druckmann, the director, that they probably feel this game a lot more than just reading a script. But yeah, I still, it's art, right? Like, you can say,
Yeah.
I didn't like your character. It didn't work for me. In fact, I genuinely hated it. But that doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you have to hate the person. That you just say,
Right?
like, hey, it didn't work for me. Like, I genuinely, like, I vehemently did not like this character. And,
Right.
and that's okay. But you don't have to take it to the point of being an asshole to a real life person, because they just made the story that they thought was interesting, and there are
Yeah.
plenty of
Right.
people that thought that story was interesting. So you know
I think
Yeah, I
we
don't
as a
get it, man.
society just need to take a chill pill and learn how to separate reality from fantasy.
Yeah.
well, we need to be able to separate our realities from our realities too, but we're not really doing that very well either.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great point, a great message to bring up, Adam. Thank you for touching on that.
Mhm.
All right. I don't got anything else for today. This was a wonderful show, right at an hour and a half, so we'll wrap it up here. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this, the 5th episode of the Tricast Gaming Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Remember to like, subscribe, review on your podcasting app of choice, and please, 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 someone send me a question so I have something to read out on the show. DM us on Twitter at Tricast Gaming P1, or on Facebook at Tricast Gaming Podcast. We'll be back again next Friday with episode number 6. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe and game hard.